Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Faith and this
one.
and I am a mental health therapist, or what I would prefer to call an abuse related trauma therapist, and I create content around mental health, abuse, trauma, healing, faith and all of that. And Adiswa here is a relationship counselor.
Yes, I am.
And she creates content on relationship, building healthy relationships, sustaining healthy relationships.
Jesus-centered.
That's right. And in this video, we're going to be talking about building relationships, but more specifically for a person who has experienced abuse in a previous relationship. So the question we're trying to answer today is, should you trust your trauma to guide you in your quest, to getting into a new relationship? And we're talking about dating relationships, marital relationships, right? And we will get right into it just after this break. Don't go away. Hello everyone and welcome back. Welcome back everyone. Once again with me is Adesua and I am Faith, and we're talking about trusting your trauma to guide you in building new relationships after experiencing an abusive one in the past. If you're new to this channel, please do well to subscribe so that you continue to get notifications of similar content. Right? So let's start by talking about let's even answer the question, yes or no. Is it okay? Can you trust your trauma to guide you going into
A new
relationship?
No, because this is a new person, actually. It's a new relationship. Even if it is with the same person, if I'm going back to an ex, it's still a new situation because you have new information. Basically, it's new. So you can't trust the old to guide you. You can learn from the past,
Right.
some experiences. Okay, so maybe you've learned how to identify a manipulator, you learned how to identify a compulsive liar, you already learned how to identify an abusive person generally. Now you have that information, but you cannot use it to now to judge everybody. You should just inform some decisions, not all your decisions. You can't say because your ex was bad, all men are bad, all women are bad. No. So you can't really trust your trauma to guide. You can only take some lessons to identify patterns. So if you see similar patterns, of course you run away.
Yeah. And trusting your trauma to guide you, in my opinion, is basically trusting your fear.
Yes.
To guide you. Yes. And there is nothing that you do out of fear that will end well.
Nothing.
Really. Job said, the thing that I feared the most has happened.
Yeah.
So if you are going into a relationship with the fear of experiencing again the thing that you
most likely
you most likely will. Yes, because the things that you should actually be looking out for, the things that you should be doing to ensure that you don't fall victim again, you probably will not be doing it. You're looking for what's the word now? It's like trying to make a villain out of everybody. You would even most likely forget the fact that you yourself are imperfect, and then you're going into a relationship with definitely somebody who is imperfect, and that not all imperfections are abuse.
Yes. Apart from say you don't focus on that, you turn on the light.
Yeah.
So if you keep focusing on the bad things, you're looking out for the bad things. Oh, let me see if it's like my ex. Let me see if it's like my ex. Yeah. You won't even see other things, whether good or bad. So don't focus on that.
Yeah.
A new water, a new fish.
And for some people, they are not. Some people are currently in a state where they are like, I don't even think I want to end up dating or getting married again.
Forever and ever.
Forever and ever. And and it's not. And while it's okay for some people to make that decision and say I don't want to get married, it's up to you. But what is informing that decision?
No.
Right.
Fear, no.
And such people, the reason why they are like you said, fear. The reason why they are taking that stand and making that decision is because they are afraid of falling victim again, and so because of that, they are all closed up, and they have built walls. They don't want anybody to come in and all that. And what that would do, Yoruba people will say, "Tabanika diju keni buruku fi koja." You can tell me, anymore. Yeah. What that means for those who don't understand Yoruba is, like she said, if you close your eyes to say, let I don't want to see evil, let all the evil people just pass by me. I don't want to see them.
Some good people
While
will
your
pass
eyes are
by.
closed, yes, good people will pass by and you wouldn't know, right? So it's okay to take your time to heal. It's in fact not even advisable to jump into another relationship when
No,
you're just
rest, please.
exactly. Yeah. And so yeah, so in that phase of waiting, of resting
Yeah.
from relationship, would you advise such a person to be doing in that waiting period?
Focus on good. Focus on what a healthy relationship should look like, what a healthy partnership looks like. It would it's better to just focus on the real than focus on the fake. So you learn from people, you learn from situations around you, you whatever you need to do. You're not giving up on love, you're giving up on an abusive person.
Yeah.
You walk away from an abusive person or from a traumatic experience, not on love. Love is wonderful.
Mm.
Love is good, love is healthy, love is a necessity in life.
Yeah.
So what you are doing is you're filling your mind and your heart with good experiences. Love yourself. You receive the love of God. You love yourself. You do the best for yourself. When you meet somebody new, you're looking at that person differently. Your needs in a relationship are different now than before.
Yeah.
Basically, you're seeing better. You're making wiser and better decisions than before. So you are resting, but you're not resting in bitterness. You're not resting in resentment. You are resting in I'm enjoying this time. I'm healing. I'm taking my time to learn, to unlearn some things because they're also not perfect, right? And then when you meet somebody new, you have a better understanding. You are able to identify, let me say, good patterns, not necessarily bad patterns. Don't focus on bad patterns. Focus on
Mm.
good patterns. Okay, so this person where they talk to me, is it a sign of love?
Yeah.
What's
Sorry.
going on today? The way they talk to me, is it a sign of love? The way they treat me around people when we are
Mm.
alone, is this what love is supposed to be? Because now you know
Yeah.
what love is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Don't judge them by your ex, judge them by what love is, the standard
Yeah.
of love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that should be God, really.
yeah.
That
God
should
is the
be
standard.
God is love, and God loved us first. And so the ways that it is written in His Word
Mm,
that He has loved, He loved us by giving,
yeah,
right? In fact, when how do I put it now? When He gave His Son,
yeah,
to die for us,
yeah.
He didn't even. So we were left with the um decision to accept
Yes.
what he didn't even force it on us, and that is real love. Like
He didn't
the
and
decision is
that
still yours
yeah, he didn't
to
even
make.
wait to for us to say we will receive before he offered.
Yes,
He offered first, then we received,
yes.
which is let's not go into that. It's very deep.
Right.
Let's not go
And
into that.
so I think that's really key. Like really even understanding what love
Yeah, when
is
you know what love is and you can know what love is
is
not.
not
So when somebody brings the hand of rubbish, you return it.
Yoruba Dakwada.
Yeah, I don't want. This is not
Yeah.
what love is because now you know what love is. You looked at God, you looked at scriptures, you looked at how did God love you? He gave you his son. How did God love you? He reaffirmed every you see in the Old Testament, he will say, I have loved you, I love
Right.
you, you're my people, I'm your God. He was reaffirming them. So love reaffirms. Though I love you once a year. Say, I love you. Tell me again. All these things. So you look out for what love really is, what love should be like, and then now you have a standard to judge whatever love they're offering you in the
Yeah.
street.
I was talking to a client recently, a therapy client who currently has the fear of going into a marital relationship
Um,
because of the experiences that she has had,
before.
not even herself, like the how she witnessed abuse in her parents' relationship.
Wow,
Right.
that's we can't unpack that today. Oh. We can't unpack that
And
today.
one of the things that I said to her was, while there is dealing with the trauma and
Yeah.
healing from that, the only reason why your relationship would end up like that, or
Mm-hmm.
your marriage will end up like that, is if you do not set boundaries.
Yes.
What are the things that you can accept? So you need to even define what you like and what you do not
And
like, what
another
you
reason
can
it will
accept.
repeat the cycle is because you are looking at the cycle. That is what you
Right,
are seeing.
right.
That is all you are seeing. So that is what you would just the way your baby imitates you when you do something, the way you drink water. When you do this they will do
Yeah,
the way your child will imitate you. That's the same way you would imitate your parents if you keep looking at them.
yeah.
So again, The standard is not your parents. The
Yeah.
standard is God. Yes, they had a bad marriage. Yes, they messed up. They had maybe traumatizing issues that they had to deal with and affected you. We know. But now you take your eyes off them and onto Jesus because he is the example you want. What do you want? A healthy marriage. You can't look at an unhealthy marriage and expect a healthy
Yes,
marriage. You
yes,
look at healthy marriages,
right.
Jesus and his bride. How does Jesus take care of the church? Look at that. Don't look
Yeah.
at the bad example because you will repeat that bad example whether you like it or not. I did that video where I was saying I've always said I don't want a man like this, and those were the kind of men I was attracting because I was so focused on what I don't want. I wasn't saying what I want. I wasn't.
Exactly.
My mind wasn't receiving what I wanted because
Yeah.
I was just saying I don't want, I don't want, I don't want, and that was what I was getting. So
Yeah.
remove your eye on what you don't want. Put it on what you want.
Yeah, and that was what I was talking about, saying to her when I was talking about boundaries. I was saying,
Mm.
define what you even want to see in
First
you.
of
Do you even have
all,
that?
yes.
Do you even have that?
If you
Like,
don't have a standard, what will you measure them by?
right. So when they are even violating your boundaries, when they are doing things that are not acceptable
Yeah.
to you, do you even know? Can you even recognize it? Because all that your mind is focused on is, I sure don't want my marriage to be like my parents, but what are you
What
doing
exactly?
about it?
Because okay, for example, if your parents were in a physically abusive marriage, you can be in an emotionally abusive marriage.
Yeah, and exactly.
So okay, you don't want that one, but what you're getting to is not good.
Yeah,
So don't focus on the problem.
yeah,
Look at the solution.
yeah, yeah. So that's very, very key. Another thing that I would, another angle that I would want us to discuss this from is the fact that we are to walk by faith and
Not
not
by
by
sight.
sight,
Yeah.
right? And I don't know which of the videos will come first, but in one of the videos that we have done together, we talked
Yeah.
about how that if you are, if you have gone through an abusive relationship before and then
Yeah.
you are in a new one,
Yeah.
you may, and you start to see things like maybe one character trait in your ex or in your previous
I see it in
relationship.
this new person.
You know, you may start to think that
Dust your slippers
you
and
have,
flame.
you know, and sometimes the point I'm trying to make is that sometimes it's not even that that one sign that you're seeing means that
That they are the same.
yes,
No.
yes.
It's
So
not guaranteed. It's not a plus.
exactly. So if you are saying, if you are judging by your sight, if you are judging
Your
just
sight
by,
is limited.
yes,
At the end of the day, yes, you think. Point thing is, we think we know ourselves because we've spent so much time. I've spent over 30 years with myself, so I feel like you know myself. It's like some things will happen, and you'll be like, I didn't even know I could do this. I
yeah,
didn't know I could talk like. I didn't know I could behave like this.
yeah,
So you don't know yourself. How much more other people?
yeah,
But God knows every one of us. He knows our deepest fears. He knows what we will do when push comes to shove. He knows the person that will stand by you when you have that problem in the next 5 years.
yeah,
He knows the kind of person that would be a good partner to you, that would be a good father to the kind of children you would have. So he sees the future. So why are you depending on yourself, on your limited knowledge, to make a decision as important as
yeah,
a marriage relationship?
right,
You would make mistakes if you're looking at just your own point of view. So turn your eyes to God because He sees your future. He knows what is best for you. So just look at Him and whatever He tells you to do, do it because you know that because He loves you, He would only choose the best for you. I can't love you and harm you.
yeah,
If I had the power to see your future, there's a way I would advise you today because
yeah,
I've seen the future. Unlike when we don't have any information about that.
yeah. And the fact that I really want to just hammer on the fact that there's no perfect individual.
Oh, there isn't.
So if you're trusting your trauma to guide you, you would most likely see things in this new person that are resembling what you saw in your traumatic experience and are not necessarily that. One of the things that I recall when I was making the decision to get married to my husband was the fact that it's not like not everything was perfect. He actually even had some character flaws that I knew that I did not even want to see in the long term.
Okay.
Right. But, and of course, we worked on many of that before we eventually, got married.
Okay.
But what kept me in the relationship was really conviction, and that's why I'm really all about work by faith and not by sight.
Yeah.
Is that what's God telling you
Yes.
about this relationship beyond what you are even seeing? I'm not saying ignore red flags. I'm not saying don't do anything about it, but before you make the decision to say I'm leaving this relationship for good, I don't think, I mean, this is not for me. This one is looking like he's going to beat me, or this one is looking like
I'm
he's
happy.
going
I'm
to.
happy you went there. So I have
Yeah.
a video, I haven't uploaded it yet, where I was talking about how marriage is hard, but if it is the marriage that God has designed, He will equip you to deal with the hardness of the marriage. Like marriage is hard, not marriage is hard, don't marry. No.
Yeah.
Marriage is hard in the sense that you and your partner are different, and sometimes you have different opinions and different perspectives. But because it's God that brought you together, He will give you the wisdom and the strength to manage your differences. So the hardness there is the cohesion of trying to fuse our lives and our dreams or whatever together. Not hard of suffering or
Yeah.
not hard of he's beating me and he's making my life unbearable. Not that kind of hard. Hard in the sense that naturally he's not the kind of person, not the kind of person. Naturally, he may not be perfect to you, yes, but because he's your husband, she's your wife, and God has called you together to form a family, He
Right.
will give you the wisdom, the patience, everything you need to make that marriage work.
Right.
So if you now say because this person now is angry the way my ex was angry, his own anger might be you might be called, like Jackie Perry would say, this is a hard that I'm called to manage.
You know, when the Bible says, I will make him a help meet for him, it's like
Yes.
the help that fits him.
So this one, the other one might be angry and slapping you. This one might be angry and just saying, I don't like what you did. They're both anger. They're manifesting differently. This anger, you can manage. That one, you
You
cannot
cannot.
manage. I don't advise you to manage it. Yeah.
Right. So basically, I think we've covered the things that I wanted us to cover. I just really want to, because I know that it's an issue for I personally, I've had to deal with going into a relationship and being scared, because looking back at my own journey and my own life, one of the things that I recall, is the fact that I actually had self-esteem issues that
Okay.
stemmed from really from home,
Okay.
from certain parenting mistakes that my parents made, and just some things that were happening at home even before I stepped out of the house to start experiencing life, and then life started to happen to me. So some of the things that I condoned in relationships, some of the things that happened to me, the trauma that I suffered in relationships, were because of the self-esteem issue. And it, yes,
before the men even
yes,
came,
yes,
that was already a
yes. So
problem.
those ones just built
That
on
existing
that,
problem.
yes.
Wow.
And so, and it takes a level of humility to be able to say, I actually also have a problem. Not to say that I take the blame for the abuse. No,
The
it's
abuse
their
was not your
fault.
fault.
Yes, it's the fault of the abuser, not mine. But what role in that sense did I play in the sense that why did I accept it?
Yes.
Why was it until my life was almost over before I ended up coming out, of that relationship, and that's a self-esteem issue. And I also recall that at some point, while I was in, so yes, like be humble. In the waiting period, we're talking about what should do while you're waiting. Like in the waiting period, these are the things that you want to be working on, within yourself while you are healing. And then when that is even being done, one mistake that I made that I would say that I want to share with you guys, and so that you don't make a similar mistake, is there's a sense of braggadociousness that comes with, now I am healing, now no, my self-esteem is now, high, or getting there. And so nobody can do that to me again. I can't accept that from anybody again. But that's not true.
That's still relying on yourself.
That's relying on yourself, relying on your strength, relying on your trauma, relying on your experiences, to say that, since I can identify this, it can't happen again. But that's not true. Your boast should be in the Lord.
Not
And
yourself.
yes, not in yourself, not on the progress that you are making. The arm of flesh, even your own flesh. Because when we say the arm of flesh can fail, we think about other people. But even your own flesh, can fail you. And it almost failed me, because so at some point I got very overconfident in myself, not in God, because I was making progress. And I almost even fell prey to another person who would have been abusive to me.
Wow.
Maybe not in all the other ways that I've experienced it, but definitely financially, because
that's the thing. So you already knew the signs to look out for when it came to maybe saying physical abuse.
Yeah.
But how about financial abuse?
Right.
How about emotional abuse?
Yeah.
Because your confidence is in, I know that the guy who yells will most likely slap me. Okay, how
Yes.
about the one that will abuse you financially? What are the
Yeah.
signs for that
Yeah.
one? So you
Yeah.
still can't depend on yourself.
Yeah. Right. So and that's very key. And I thank God for it because I could have ended up in that relationship. It didn't
Mm,
end up being a thing, but it almost did. And
mm.
it even hurt me when I realized that
For God,
we give God the glory. So please don't make that mistake. Be humble, pray. Bible says, if my people who
who
are
are
called by
called by
my
my
name
name.
will humble myself and pray, I will heal their land.
Mm,
And so I'll just say the same thing to you, that if you will humble yourself and pray, humble yourself in the sense that uh, basically prayer, when you're praying, you're taking the posture of humility, you're
yes,
submitting,
yes.
right? And you're saying that this is not about me, this is not about my strength, and you want to really, really 100% rely on the help of God to guide you in your
Mm,
relationship decisions, and not anything about your trauma or the lessons that you learned from
mm. I hope you are hearing.
it.
I hope it's entering into your spirit, ma'am.
Yeah. And so I guess, I mean, do you have any last things, few words you want to say?
Just like you said, just be humble and submit your heart to God. You cannot make the best decisions for your life. You have very limited knowledge. I would say it is it's not an insult, it's just human nature.
Yeah.
I don't have the best information to make decisions in my life. What I'm seeing is today and yesterday. I can't see tomorrow, but
Mm.
God can.
Mm.
So just daily remind yourself in prayer that I'm dependent on God. God owns my life and He's the best person to direct my life. Otherwise, I will enter gutter again.
Yeah, right. So to answer the question, let's end on this note. To answer the question, can you trust your trauma to guide you in building new relationships? The
No,
answer is
no.
no. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel to see more content related to this. Turn on the notification bell so that you are first to know when I
When you
upload
see
new
me
videos.
again.
Bye.
Bye.